Hey guys, it's Trina and I have some underrated books to recommend for you guys today. This video is part of the brand new monthly recommendations GOODREADS group, which was set up by Kayla Rain and myself, and everybody is welcome to join in. There is a link to that down below, as well as a link to the video where I explained what the group was. For August, our topic is underrated books. I do have 7 books to recommend today, so let's just get right into it, and these are in no particular order. Some of these I have mentioned before, but I've got a lot of new viewers, so I will be mentioning them again. And by the way, all the books I am mentioning in this video are books that I personally have rated 4 or 5 stars. The first underrated book I would like to recommend to you guys is The Future of Us by Jay Asher and Carolyn Mackler. This is a YA sci-fi time travel-y standalone. This book is set in the 90s and it follows 2 teenagers who have just gotten AOL. Do you guys remember AOL? And when they first get onto AOL, their computer starts showing them this weird website called Facebook. And guys, Facebook did not exist in the 90s. So what they are seeing is actually their profiles and what their lives are going to be like in 10 or 15 years down the road. That does sound like a really weird premise, but it worked so well. If you are a child of the 90s, you will probably remember a lot of the things that this book references, and there's just a lot of humor with it. Like, there are these jokes about things that were so different in the 90s than they are today. There's a lot of jokes about Facebook and social media in general. Like, I remember the characters were making statements like, why did I post about what I ate for dinner tonight? Like, who cares about that? I thought it was really funny and really nostalgic, and I'm so sad that not many people have actually read it, so I would encourage you to check it out if that sounds interesting to you. The next underrated book that I would love to see get more attention is Noggin by John Corey Whaley. This one has gotten kind of a moderate amount of attention on BookTube because I know a lot of people read his other books, and so Noggin kind of sometimes gets mentioned, but I haven't actually seen a lot of people who have read it and what they thought about it, so Noggin, I think it deserves more love. It's about a teenage boy who is dying from cancer and his body is just wasting away, but his mind is fine, and he decides to sign up to have his head cut off and cryogenically frozen so that in the future, when cryogenics are like working properly, that maybe his head can be attached to someone else's donated healthy body. And then a few chapters in, he wakes up and the cryogenics have worked, but surprisingly it's only 5 years later. Like, nobody expected it to actually work within that short of amount of time. So all of his friends and family are still around, but a lot has changed. All of his friends have 5 years worth of experiences that he's missed out on. Is his girlfriend still his girlfriend? Is his best friend still his best friend? Even though technically he's 5 years older, he never graduated high school, so he's got to go back into high school. It was just totally different than anything else I've ever read, and I loved it. It really made me think about so many things. It was one of my favorite reads of last year, and I definitely wish more people would pick it up. The next underrated book I want to mention is actually a series. It is the CAHIL Witch Chronicles by Jessica Spotswood. The books are Born Wicked, Star Cursed, and Sister's Fate. This is a YA trilogy about witches, and it is set in a kind of an alternate history. It kind of feels like the Salem witch trials. Any women that are accused of witchcraft are put to trial and death, and we follow 3 sisters who are witches, and their whole life they have been told that they must hide their powers. And this series has one of my all-time favorite book boyfriends in it. We have a really cute, geeky book nerd male love interest, and the chemistry in these books is amazing. It's a really tame romance, but the chemistry, it just flies off the pages, and ship, swoon, ship it forever. It is about witches, but the magic in this story is very lighthearted. It's more Harry Potter than The Craft. They do explore some darker magic, which does add a lot of depth to the characters and to the story. There's a lot of feminism in this book, a lot of standing up for women's rights. And Kate is also a fantastic main character. Kate is so morally founded, and she's so loyal to her sisters, even though there's a lot of betrayal happening. And guys, there is a plot twist in book 2 that just destroyed me. I wish more people would check this series out. The 4th book I want to recommend is Forbidden by Siri James and Ryan James. This is a YA fantasy standalone that deals with angels. Our main character is getting these weird visions, and they start kind of coming true. And then there's a mysterious new guy in school. There's this whole forbidden love aspect to it. It's been so long since I read this book that I don't have much else to say about it other than I remember really loving it and being surprised by it. I gave it 5 stars, and I've always wanted there to be a sequel because although it worked very well as a standalone, there was enough there in that world to where I felt like there could be another book or two, but I would highly recommend it. I don't know a lot of people that have read it, but it was surprising and I wish more people would check it out. The fifth book I want to recommend is The Uninvited duology by Sophie Jordan. This is a YA futuristic dystopian duology where scientists have pinpointed the gene that is responsible for violent behavior, and our main character, she's in this elite school program and she finds out through mandatory testing that she actually carries the violent gene, and so now she's kicked out of her school, she's losing like her scholarships and stuff, and basically society doesn't accept her anymore, and all of these people that carry the gene are put into these like behavior camps, and the whole story just really explores self-fulfilling prophecy and do the tendencies of violence actually come from this gene that they carry because that they're just prone to acting that way, or does it come because of the expectations that society puts on them? It's one of those that really stuck with me. I haven't read the second book yet, but I loved the first book and I can't wait to get my hands on the second one and see how it ends. The sixth book I want to recommend is called When You Were Mine by Rebecca Searle. This is a Romeo and Juliet retelling, and it's retold from the point of view of Rosalind, who Romeo in the original play left Rosalind for Juliet. So this story is a contemporary retelling of that from the point of view of Rosalind, where she's had to watch him fall from Juliet, and it deals with all of her feelings about it and watching this whole tragedy unfold, and I just thought it was a really cute contemporary read. And the last book that I want to recommend to you guys is another duology actually. It's the Fair Coin duology by E.C. Myers. These books are about parallel dimensions, alternate universes. This story is about our main character who one day finds a mysterious coin that has the ability to grant his wishes. So he starts making all these wishes to kind of improve his life. He wants to get the girl he's got a crush on to notice him. He wants a better life for his mother. And as he keeps making wishes, when they come true, he notices that the rest of the world has kind of had other things happen. So he keeps trying to wish his way back into how his life was before. So this is one of those explorations of be careful what you wish for. There's a lot of sciencey talk in the book, but it made sense to me. I really appreciated it. It explained it very well. I feel like parallel universes are getting kind of trendy, but Fair Coin seems to have been pretty largely overlooked, but I thought it was a really interesting story. So if you liked 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray, which came out earlier this year, I would definitely recommend checking out Fair Coin, or you know, just check it out even if you didn't read 1,000 Pieces of You and you like alternate universe stories. So those are some of the books that I have read and loved, and I think they're underrated, and I wish more people would check them out. If you've read any of these, please let me know down below what you thought of them. Do you have any underrated books that you love that you would like to recommend to me? Because I would love to hear your recommendations, and don't forget that you can join in the group if you want to make your own video. All those details are down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that I have helped you find some new books to check out. I will see you in the comments. Bye!